Quick and easy recipes are always great whenever you come home from work and only have a small amount of time to get things prepared and get supper on the table. Well, I've got you 4 amazing quick and easy recipes for this week. Hey friends, my name's Susan and welcome to my home. Today I've got you some quick and easies that we absolutely enjoyed. So let's get our ponytails up and let's get to making some quick and easy recipes. Y'all know, good food, and when it's quick, that's even better. And I'm wanting something warm to eat tonight because it's cold outside. Monterey Chicken, 1 pan orzo is what I'm going to make, and I'm hoping it'll fit in the pan I'm wanting to put it in, but we will see. I have got some chicken blend spices, minced garlic, some French's crispy onion, some sour cream, cream of chicken soup, orzo pasta. I've got 2.5 cups of bone broth, chicken bone broth. I've got spinach back in the back. Here is rotisserie chicken that I have cut up. And here is a block of Monterey Jack, Colby Jack Monterey Jack cheese that I just shredded. And I believe that's all we need for this recipe. So let's get to mixing some things up so we can get it in the oven. Let's go ahead and get all this mixed together. First thing I'm going to be adding in is the cream of chicken soup. It's going in first. 16 ounces of sour cream is going in. This is a 24 ounce, so it's going to be over half of it. I think that looks pretty good. Alrighty. 2.5 cups of the chicken broth, or the bone broth, is going in. And I bet you this is not going to fit in this pan. Okay, I think it's time to bunt and find a bigger pan. Well, we've changed into a bigger pan. I think that might work better. Let's go ahead and get us some garlic going into this. It calls for 5 cloves of garlic, which is basically about 5 teaspoons of garlic. 4 and 5. There we go. And 1 teaspoon of the chicken spice is going in next. I'm not measuring this because I'm just going to pop it in here and put a good amount in because this stuff is so good. All right, now it's time to whisk it all together until it is nice and smooth. The oven is on 350 already, and it's actually already ready for me to put this in, but I'm running a little bit behind. But let me go ahead and get this all mixed up. I'll bring you back in just a second. It said to get this smooth without any lumps, you definitely need to put it in a bowl because this ain't gonna work in this pan. But I went ahead and got everything mixed together, and now it's time to add some of the ingredients. I'm going to add in all the chicken, trying to get it dispersed amongst this. I probably should have shredded a little bit better than I did, but that's okay. We're going to have plenty of chicken in it. And this is all the rotisserie chicken that I had. I'm also going to put in half of the cheese. That way we'll have some more to put, I guess, on top. It calls for 16 ounces of orzo. I am wondering if I need to put that much. Really. I think I'm going to put almost all the box. Maybe not totally all of it. A good half of it. Yeah, let me mix it around and see what I think. Next I'm going to put in the spinach. It calls for about 3 cups of torn spinach leaves. I didn't get the baby spinach. I got what I could get at the store, and that was the regular spinach. But I'm just going to go ahead and tear it up and kind of like eyeball it till I feel like we've got a good amount of spinach in there. Danny and I both like spinach pretty good in anything like this that's cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and get these tore apart. And then we will stir them into the mix. Now that that's pretty well mixed in, I'm going to go ahead and use the other half of the cheese and put on top and try to spread it out nice. And I'm going to go ahead and put on the French fried onions. It says 6 ounces. This is about a 2.8. So I'm going to see how far this will go. I think it'll be plenty of onions on top without any problem. Now, that's ready to go in the oven. The only thing I have to do next is put some aluminum foil on top. This foil will the foil will go on, and this will go in the oven for 20 minutes, and then we'll take this off the top and let it bake for an additional 10 to 15. So let's go ahead and get this into the 350 oven. And I did 20 minutes with the aluminum foil over top, and then 10 minutes with it off. And this is what it looks like. It looks absolutely delicious and smells so good. Let's get this plated up. And this was so good. Quick and easy to put together. Put it in the oven, and then you've got a meal. You've got to try it. It's definitely a pleaser. Let's get to making some bone-in country-style ribs. Real simple, real easy. You make them in the crock pot. And these are actually still frozen, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them in there that easy. I put them in the fridge to defrost, and they didn't quite have enough time. And I did get them broke apart, so let me go ahead and get them in here as good as I can. I wish they would have all fit, but they are just a little bit too big to fit laying down completely. There we go. Now the next thing I'm going to add is a little bit of water. You want enough to cover the ribs. Of course, these are frozen, and they're going to put off some juice of their own. And they will cook down and go into the water. I'm going to go ahead and add in some baby rays with some water in it to thin it up. So these will cook nice and tender and have a good flavor to them. Mind you, this is not the only bit of flavor we're going to put on these. Now these are going to go on high for 4 hours or low for 6 to 8. They should cook and get down into the water once they start cooking. But I'm actually going to be here today, so I'll check on them. I usually like to put them in one layer on the bottom, and these were just too big. So let's go ahead and get these cooking. I'm going to turn these on 4 hours on high, and I'll show you what they look like when they get done. And after a couple hours, here's what the ribs look like. They've been in the crock pot for a while. I'm going to go ahead and put them on a plate so we can put them in the oven. And this is what they look like out of the crock pot. They did overcook just a little bit. They are falling off the bone, which is not a bad thing, but you can't really pick them up to eat them. They're going to be nice and good, so that's not a problem. I'm covering them in some of the sweet and spicy, our favorite barbecue sauce. Now there that. And I'm going to use one of my nice little brushes to get as much of the barbecue sauce over everything. They are going to go into a 350 oven for about 10 minutes. They will harden up just a little bit as far as that goes. Won't be quite as mushy. And then it'll be time for us to eat ribs off the bone apparently. But you know what? They're awesome. So let's get them in the oven. And this is what it looks like straight out of the oven. Oh my gosh, and it smells amazing. Let's get this on a plate. If you've never tried ribs in the crock pot, you must. This makes them so tender and juicy. They are spectacular. Let's get to making hopefully a quick meal. Beef and broccoli in the stir fry is what I'm going to be doing. I found this eye of round thin, which I think might work pretty good. We will see. I've got some cornstarch, brown sugar, liquid aminos, sesame oil. I've got some beef broth, onion, garlic, ginger, and some shredded carrots, and some broccoli in the background. So let's get all of this into our wok and get it going for some beef and broccoli. In a bowl, we're going to go ahead and mix together a 1/3 cup of soy sauce, a 1/3 cup of the beef broth, which I think should be about all of it. It should be fine. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar is going in, and I just made a mess. Some minced garlic is going in next. Try not to get that plump. 1 tablespoon of mixed ginger is going in next. There we go. And I'm also going to add in a tablespoon of cornstarch just to help thicken things up. Go ahead and mix that up and then set it aside, and you're ready to start the rest. Next, I've added in 2 tablespoons of the sesame oil and, of course, the meat, which I have shredded up or cut up into slivers or long pieces. Let the meat cook until it's nice and brown, and then remove it from the wok. Add in the broccoli and onion. And I've been cooking this for just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add in that bowl of all the stuff that I mixed up in here. And that is going in next. Hopefully I've got everything out of that into the pan. Let me go ahead and saute this in all of the garlic and the ginger and all the good stuff. And that's looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and add in the carrots to the mix also. The recipe I'm using doesn't have carrots. The one I was looking at did, so I'm going to go ahead and add them in. They add extra nutrition, and you know I like to get any type of vegetable in for Danny to eat that I can. I'm going to go ahead and add back in the meat into the pan and stir that in. There we go. Now I'm going to turn this on low, well, actually about a 2 I think, and let this simmer for a few minutes until the broccoli gets completely done, because I did not blanch my broccoli like it says. I'm going to cook it in all the good juices and all the good flavors. So there we go. Let me go ahead and put a lid on this, let this cook for just a few minutes. And this has been cooking about 10 minutes. And look at that. Ooh, the steam. I took a taste of it and it tastes really good. You could add whatever else you wanted to add to it. I'm thinking this is tasting pretty good. Let me see what I've got though. I think I might add just a little bit more of the liquid aminos or the soy sauce in here. Just a little bit. Because that's about all it needs. It tastes so good. Look at all this. Now you could let it cook down even more. I only let it cook for 10 minutes. I just wanted the broccoli to cook down a little bit since I did not blanch it. So this is ready to get on some rice and on a plate. I have made a couple recipes of beef and broccoli, and this was definitely the best I've ever made. Tastes just like takeout. You don't have to go to the restaurant. Here it is. And we're going to be making some quesadilla taco pizzas, or the best I can. I've got the hamburger browning up over here. I've got some onion ready to put on it. Taco sauce right here. Some green, some red, some Mexican blend, and Danny's having a fit, and some taco seasoning. So, and of course, here's the tortillas. So, let me get this taco meat cooked up, and then we'll put everything together. It won't take long. And I've got this hamburger meat already browned up and drained. I'm going to go ahead and add in some taco seasoning and a little bit of water. Just enough to get the taco seasonings into the hamburger meat. I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer for just a little bit so all this will meld together, and then we'll get to making the quesadillas. Now for the base of the pizza, we are going to use we're going to make it a quesadilla. We're going to heat this bad boy up and put some cheese inside of it. And of course I've got my Mexican cheese. So I'm going to scatter out and then put the other shell on top. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this and leave it on kind of a medium low, just so this can warm up enough to melt the cheese. We aren't trying to brown it per se, we just want it to melt it. And then once it's melted up, we'll put the hamburger meat and all the other stuff on. And I went ahead and tried to raise it up, and look, it's already melting. That's what we want. Now it's time to put the hamburger meat on top. You don't need a ton on top of it, but just enough to give it that taco-y flavor. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little bit of onion to the top. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of taco sauce on top. A little bit of green. And a little bit of red. And a little more cheese. Now I'm going to put the lid back on for just a minute or two and let that little bit of cheese melt, and then we'll be ready to serve it up. And here you go. Hopefully it's going to slide right out of the pan. Nope, not really. There you go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut this like you would a pizza. Because I guarantee that's going to be good. And a little bit of sour cream on top of it. I love pizza, and this quesadilla taco pizza cannot be beat. If you've never tried it, you must, because it is so good. I hope you enjoyed those quick and easy recipes, and let me know if you try them. I want to see what you think. And if you haven't already, press that little button down below and subscribe. And don't forget to press the bell and the all notification. That way you'll be notified each time I put a video up. And leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Until next time, see you then.